What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about the UFC fighters that I want to see become champion in 2025. Now, remember, this is my list. All right, so this is who I want to see become champion, no matter how realistic or unrealistic. Now, of course, I'm going to be picking guys in the top 15, so I'm not going to pick fucking Gene Silva to be featherweight champion or fucking Demetrius Johnson or fuck whoever the fuck. So, anyways, wish you guys like and sub. Let's get right into it. And yeah, so we're gonna start with, of course, the midget division flyweight. Ah, this one was kind of tricky. There's a couple of guys I was thinking of, but it's literally only one option. I feel like there's literally only hey motherfucker, what the fuck, Manel Cap. Manel Cap. I want him to become champion next year. He is the guy that in this division that is kind of carrying it from an entertainment perspective, right? Like, and I'm not even just talking about like the way he fights, but I'm also talking about like the guy can cut a promo. He knows how to talk shit. He knows how to sell a fight. Um, I love Manel Cap. I think he's awesome. I was gonna go with maybe like a Kaya Sakura. I was even thinking of going Brandon Moreno, but he was already champion, so I kind of wanted to pick someone fresh. So I went with Manel Cap. And yeah, I think he should become champion next year. I'd want him to become champion. Is it going to happen? Probably not. But again, this is just who I want to become champion, you know? And yeah, I want to hear him say more slurs after his fight. So Manel Cap for champ next year. Let's go. Next is the Bantamweight division. Hey guys, one more thing, guys. Marab, right? Ah, oh Marab. Yeah, this division is kind of I don't know. I don't know. This division is kind of overrated. I mean, look at his top 15. Do you guys really want Montel Jackson to be champ? No. Marcus McGee? No. Zahabi? No. Phillips? No. Jose Aldo, of course, but it's never going to happen. Batista? Fuck no. Rob Font? Fuck no. Song Yadong? Okay, he'd be cool. Cejudo? Eh. Vera? Eh. Figueredo? Okay, that'd be cool. Sandhagen? Eh. Peter Yan? Right? And then Umar and then Sean. So honestly, my choice has to be Peter Yan, just because of like, and I know he was already champion. I know I said for featherweight that I didn't want to go with someone who was already a champion, but bro, look at the options. It's either Peter Yan or fucking Tyler Phillips. All right, like I'm going Peter Yan. I want Peter Yan to become champion next year. I actually think of a lot of these names that it's actually like. I think it's pretty likely to be honest with you because like if he let's say beats Sean O'Malley in his next fight and then gets a title shot, right? I think he has a pretty good chance of beating Umar. I actually think I'd pick him to beat Umar. I would, you know what? I would pick Peter Yan to beat Umar Nurmagomedov. And if Umar beats Marab, again, that's a really, really, really good fight. That's a fight I might talk about in a separate video actually, because I am dropping a video on the biggest fights I want to see next year as well. So be on the lookout for that. Um, I think Peter Yan has a really good chance of winning the belt next year. I'd love to see it. I think he is one of those guys that stylistically can have fun fights with a lot of people in this division, unless you're Marab. Like him against O'Malley again, him against Sandhagen again. None of these fights were boring. Him against Umar would probably be a fun fight. Um, him against Cejudo. I don't know, like just Cheeto Vera, Song Yadong was a fun fight. Like this guy Peter Yan, he's really really sick. I want him to win the belt. And yeah, this is my pick. I'm probably the biggest Peter Yan fan on MMA YouTube. No, there's probably bigger ones, but I'm like he's probably my top three favorite fighters of all time. I'm not even joking. Like number one is GSP, and then it's like probably Peter Yan, and then I don't know, fucking somebody else. I know people are gonna say I'm a casual for that, but like he's kind of what really got me to become more of a hardcore fan of MMA because I saw him destroying Jose Aldo, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And they were like, his nickname is No Mercy, and I was like, holy shit! Then I started watching like compilations of him. Like, he's really a big reason why I'm like, as big into UFC and MMA to where I'm doing a fucking channel about it. So I love Peter Yan, man. So that's my pick to be bantamweight champion, Peter No Mercy Yan. Moving on to featherweight. Now, I like the featherweight champion, of course, Ilya Topuria, but I want to pick someone new. Looking at the options, I mean, I'm gonna go with Diego Lopez. I'm going with Diego Lopez. I mean, Holloway's not even in featherweight no more, so I don't even know why he's still ranked number two. But I'm going Diego Lopez. I love Diego Lopez. I think he would be as fun of a champion as Topuria has been, right? He can grapple, he can strike, he has knockout power, he has submissions. He's just a really really fun fighter to watch, and he's also like hittable. Like so that means there's a chance he could get chinned, and those guys are it's like a Charles Oliveira type of guy where it's like, Oliveira got dropped in almost every title defense he had. So I think he did actually. So Diego Lopez's champion would be super fun. This again, kind of like the Peter Yan one. I could see a path to it. Obviously, what the fuck? Sorry. Obviously, is it likely? I don't know, right? Because if he faces, let's say, Evloev, I'd pick him to be Evloev in a 5 rounder. In a 3 rounder, is just at this point, like they're gonna give Evloev every single close decision of his career if it's a 3 rounder. In a 5 rounder, though, I think he'd get exposed by like Diego, Volk, Topuria. So I in a 5 round fight, I'd pick Diego to beat Movsar Evloev, that fucking pedophile freak. And could he be Ilya Topuria? He probably gets knocked out in a round, but I don't know. The way he fight, it's just his style. Like I don't know. That'd be such an awesome fight. Imagine that fight in Spain. Fucking isn't he fucking awesome? Like what Data said. But yeah. Anyways, Lopez would be an extremely exciting champion. Yeah, he doesn't speak English. That'd kind of be the only thing. Like he's not as marketable as Topuria, where he can just like talk shit on everybody. That'd be the only problem. But he's so active as well. Like yeah, his activity, like he'd fight a lot. Like if he was champion, I could see him having like a Alex Pereira level like type schedule where he's just fighting like 3 times a year, stepping up on short notice. Like yeah, I keep stuttering my words. Sorry, I'm hanging out with Curtis Blades too much. Moving on to the lightweight division. Islam has been a really good champion. He's had really fun fights. Looking at this division, I mean, there's some really great names here. I love my boy Benoit Saint Denis. I know you guys. A lot of people hate Benoit Saint Denis. I don't get it, man. What did Benoit Saint Denis ever do to you guys? I mean, he's just a kid living his dream. He's just trying to make it. But anyways, I'm gonna go with. It's just looking at it. It's like, okay, do I really want Fiziev as lightweight champion? Do I really want Gamrot? Patty would be pretty annoying, but he'd be fun, but he'd be a little annoying. Moicano would be fun, but I'm going Max Holloway. I know it's kind of I know he's already held titles in featherweight, and I know he's not a new guy, and I'm trying to keep it to new contenders, except for fucking Peter Yan. Um, but bro, like Max Holloway as champion in any division is like so fun. I think him as lightweight champion would be honestly better than him as featherweight champion because like look at the options. Imagine Holloway against Fiziev, Poirier, Makachev, Sarukian, Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler, Paddy Pimblett, Moicano. Like the names are fucking kind of endless. Joel Alvarez just got ranked yesterday, I think, or today, this morning. So he's ranked number 15 now. Like lightweight is I think lightweight is, and I've always thought it was better than bantamweight, but like just looking at the two divisions, lightweight is way more exciting than bantamweight. I'm sorry. Like there was this whole argument for years, like, oh, bantamweight is the better division. Fuck you, bantamweight. I like bantamweight, but it's just not. Sorry, my fucking arm itches. Anyways, Max Holloway, lightweight champion. It's kind of self-explanatory. Like he's probably one of my favorite fighters of all time. He's definitely one of my favorite fighters of all time, and I'm sure he's a lot of your guys' favorite fighters. He's just so exciting. He's so exhilarating. I'm just gonna keep glazing him. He'd be a great champion at featherweight. It's really not much to say here. He's Max Holloway, so I don't really gotta argue for it. Moving on to welterweight, huh? Bilal Muhammad, your time has come, buddy. All right. I kind of stole that from Gay Time MMA. I'm gonna say it's a joke. All right. I'm gonna say I don't even know Michael Venom Page was still ranked at welterweight. Oh shit. I'm gonna go with Jack Della Maddalena. Jack Della. My Robert Whitaker. Yeah, I'm going Jack Della Maddalena. Why'd I say Robert Whitaker? Um, JDM. I think he'd be. It's kind of similar to Diego Lopez. He's just one of these guys that is just. I know he's injured right now, but before the injury, he was relatively active. Um, he's just had bad luck with injuries, unfortunately. But he's one of these guys that I think if he could stay healthy, he'd be like very active, and I think he'd be an active champion. I think that he'd have exciting fights with everybody in the division, especially if he keeps improving on his grappling. Um, he's such an exciting guy. His striking is fucking phenomenal. He's probably one of the best boxers in the UFC, undoubtedly. And yeah, he's one of these guys that when you look at the division, it's like I mean, I'd rather see him as champ over Shafkat because I just feel like I like Shafkat, but he does have boring fights. Like let's be honest, Ian Gary fight was a snooze fest. A lot of his finishes are pretty. They're not that exciting, right? Like they're just kind of like oh, like he kind of outgrappled Neil Magny and then finally submitted him in round three. It's like I don't know if that even happened. He might have submitted him in round one, but I'm just using that as an example. Like he's not like that exciting. Like he'll get a knockout every once in a while, and he's got some like good finishes. But would much rather watch JDM fucking box up fucking Kamaru Usman than watch fucking Shafkat out grapple Leon Edwards. Like you know what I mean? Like I just think JDM would be such a fun champion. Now in terms of like yeah, look the guy he's a fucking he's as boring as a plate of piss, right? He's so flat, he's so boring. But I don't care. The way he fights, it's like, bro, just look at his nipples, bro. That's all I gotta say. What the fuck? Jack Della Maddalena. Look at his nose. Fuck the nipples. His fucking nose is like, hey, bruv, it's JDM, bruv. Um, I said bruv. I'm trying to do like an Australian accent. Any of you Australians in the comments, like, give me some advice on how to do an accent. Moving on to middleweight. This one is kind of a little tricky for me just because like I actually like DDP as champion. Um, he's a fun champion. He's an exciting champion. He has good fights. Strickland, I mean, he's kind of boring, right? Hamza obviously would probably be the pick, but I'm gonna go with the fighting nerds, baby. I'm going Kyle Baraujo. Unfortunately, Gene Silva is not ranked, so I couldn't pick him for featherweight. I probably wasn't gonna pick him anyways, but I love Gene Silva. But Kyle Baraujo, another member of the fighting nerds, I think there's actually a pretty solid chance this could happen too. Now, do I see him beating Hamzat? No. I could see him beating Strickland. I could see him beating Dricus du Plessis. Even though I think that'd be a very, very tough fight for him. I could see a path to victory for him. Him beating Hamzat, I can't really see, but who cares? This is in a fantasy world, and in my fantasy world, Kyle Baraujo is the new middleweight champion. Um, he's just very exciting. Like his fight against Cannonier is like probably like up there as my favorite fight of the year. It's such a good fight, especially in the Apex. It's one of those fights that I don't mind being in the Apex because you could just hear every bah, you could just hear every punch, every kick, every smack, every whatever the fuck. You could just hear meat smacking meat, pause, but you could just hear everything. So that fight was really sick. He has really exciting fights. He has KO power. He's just one of these fighters that is just he'd be such an exciting champion. Like he always has fucking two black eyes after his fights. Like he can take shots really well. He's a hittable guy, but like that's how he fights, and that's why his fights are exciting because he's not just really dominating these guys. He's not Sean Strickland who's just He's not fucking shoulder roll. No, he's fucking he's dominating, man. He's awesome. I love Kyle Braujo. He's a really, 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 really good fighter. And yeah, let's go fighting nerds. And I want to see the other fighting nerds get ranked. So Mauricio Ruffy, fucking what's the other one? Gene Silva, Bruno Brazil, Bruno Brazil, the future mother to my children. Um, let's get the fighting nerds ranked. But Kyle Braujo is my pick to be middleweight champion next year. This is what I want. This is who I want. This is who I want. This is who I want to see win the middleweight title. I'm fucking retarded, man. Speaking of retarded, Dominic Reyes, light heavyweight. You don't even gotta ask me twice, boy. You don't even gotta ask me twice. Um, I was low key. I was like, light heavyweight is so shit. I was like, what if I just went with like Pereira? What if I was just like, yeah, my pick is that Pereira retains the title. Um, but obviously I didn't pick that. Dominic Reyes. Yeah, this isn't happening. All right, out of all of these, this is probably the least likely to happen. He's not beating Pereira. He's probably getting knocked out in like a minute. But in my fantasy world, Dominic Reyes head kick KOs Alex Pereira in 50 seconds and wins the fucking light heavyweight title. And he stands up there. He says, "John Jones, you're a fucking maggot, but instead of M, it's F. You're a fucking maggot, and your wife still has black eyes from the time you beat her, and you're gay, and you were at the Diddy party last year, and you take dick up your butt." And like that's like what I want to hear Dominic Reyes say after he wins the light heavyweight title. He's been on a really nice run lately, beating Anthony Smith, who I just did a fucking video on. Please make sure you guys check out that video I just did on Anthony Smith. It's the last video before this. It's the hardest I've ever worked on a video. It took a while to make. It was so much fun though. Make sure you guys check it out. I think it's the best video I've ever done. But yeah, he just beat on paper Anthony Smith. And before that, he beat Dustin Jacoby, who just knocked out fucking Vitor Petrina. So, hey, man, Dominic Reyes, that win against Jacoby is aging pretty well. Who knows? Maybe Anthony Smith might go on to win a fucking another fight or two, and then the Dominic Reyes one will age even better. So, Dominic Reyes is my pick of who I want to see become light heavyweight champion. And yeah, is he the most marketable guy? No, he's a pretty boring, he's a pretty standard boring guy with a shit hairline, but he's a pretty exciting fighter, I think. I mean, yeah, he's relatively exciting. He has good KO power. He's been in some really exciting fights. Um, so yeah, I think Dominic Reyes. I mean, he should already be a fucking light heavyweight champion, but they robbed him of that because John Jones is a fucking Dana White is gay for John Jones, and I mean, you can't tell me otherwise. Moving on to the last division of the UFC, I'm gonna ignore the women's. Maybe I'll skim over the women's divisions, all right, after this. But for heavyweight, ah, yeah, you guys already know. If you guys haven't seen my heavyweight rant, I hate the heavyweight division with a fucking passion. Just look at it. It's like so I'm not gonna pick Tom Aspinall because he doesn't count. He's already champion. Oh, John Jones is the champ. No, John Jones is not the champion. I want to say, damn, I hate the heavyweight division, man. Shamil the Blob Gaziev, maybe Flick McParkin. I guess I'll go with. This is my guy. I like Volkov. I'll go with Patty Pimblett, Alexander Volkov. I like Volkov, man. Look, is this gonna happen? Like, really? There's a pretty slim chance of this happening. It's really like not gonna happen, but I'd love for it to happen. I love Volkov. I think he got completely robbed against Cyril Gane, which is the most disgusting robbery in the history of the sport. Cyril Gane is also a closeted homosexual. Don't ask me where I got that information. Just take it on face value. Excuse me, I just burped. Alexander Volkov, I want to see him as champion in the heavyweight division. This guy's a true heavyweight too. This is what I like about Volkov, and this is why he's a top 5 fighter. He is an actual true heavyweight. He's not fat, even though he looks a little chunky in this picture. He's not fat. He's not just some overweight fucking bum who's like, oh, I'm too lazy to cut some middleweight, so I'll just be a heavyweight. No. Like, that's what happened with Cormier. Cormier moved up to heavyweight. Really, what happened is Daniel Cormier has no fucking discipline, and so he fucking was like, you know what? I don't know how to fucking lose weight no more. Let me just move up. Volkov actually has discipline. Um, has this. What am I talking about? Volkov is not fat. Volkov actually is a natural heavyweight, is what I'm trying to say. Compared to like all these other heavyweights, he's a natural heavyweight. So, look, is he the most exciting guy? No, he barely speaks English. Like, obviously, like I'm not trying to be offensive. It's just the truth. He barely speaks English, but he's still an exciting fighter. Well, I mean, his last couple fights have been kind of snooze fest. But you know, I like Volkov. I don't care if he's a boring fighter. He's our boring fighter, right? I want Volkov to be heavyweight champ. Now, that's pretty much it. That's all the divisions. They should add, by the way, a 165-pound division. I might do a video on that actually. But because it doesn't make sense how it goes from like 180, no, 170, no, 155, then it just jumps to 170, then it's 185. It doesn't make sense. All right, let's skim over the women real quick. I'll go Tatiana Suarez, I'll go Alexa Grasso, and I'll go with fucking Jesus, this division is shit. I'll go with Chelsea Chandler, I guess. I don't know, fucking Irene Aldana. There you go. Women's fighting, nobody cares about it. Great video. Great video. Yeah, that was a fun video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Those are the fighters that I want to see win belts in the year of 2025. Let me know who your guys' picks are. I keep stuttering today. I think I just, I sparred yesterday, so it's like, oh, yeah, I'm a little retarded. But make sure you guys like and sub. Again, let me know. I know this is a little bit too bright. Let me know who your guys' picks are. Who you guys want to see win belts next year. See you guys next time. And fuck John Jones. And yeah.